Hello everyone, my name is Sade Janine. For those of you who do not know, if you are new here, welcome. I am back. I have not been on YouTube in about 2 years, probably, maybe a year. I don't know, maybe I'm guessing it, but it's been a while, and a lot has happened in my life. I had twins. A lot went on with that. That's a long story. I can do a story time one day about my pregnancy with the twins. Unfortunately, we lost our son, one of the twins, and yeah, it's been a lot. All right, guys, and my hair is a mess. This is why I got it wrapped like this. But we gonna get this video done, okay? Period. So the moisturizer that I use daily is by J Sweet Skincare, and this is a handmade product. This is actually a very great friend of mine. This is her product. Did I have hair on there while I showed that? Oh, let me show y'all again, because I don't have time. So yeah, beautiful product. I love it so much. Looks like this in the inside. It's like it's just a whip, like a moisture whip. Like, can y'all see that on my hand? All right. Oh, can y'all see that? But yeah, it's really moisturizing. Really great for your skin. And I use this on my face every day, and I use just like a little amount, like a pea-sized amount. So if y'all need moisturizer for your face, yeah, get this. I personally have combination skin, so my skin can be oily at times. Sometimes it's like dry, so it's like both, but I still use this. I guess it just depends on your skin type, but it does not make my face oily at all. Like, it just hydrates, moisturize, yeah, give you that glow. All right, so then I put on Pond's, because I don't know, I feel like, now y'all know I'm a makeup artist, but you know, when it comes to me, myself, and I, when it comes to what I want to do with my face, yeah, I just go with what works for me. So I like to put this on because I feel like it's like a barrier. Yeah, I feel like it's just like a barrier for my face, for my skin. My skin has been a little off because I haven't been drinking a lot of water. Honestly, I am breastfeeding, so like I literally eat snacks all day long. I drink soda like every other day. Right now I'm trying to fast from soda. Like, I'm trying not to drink any soda, but I've been drinking like a bunch of soda. I have not really been drinking water like that. I mean, I drink at least 1 bottle of water a day probably, but it ain't how it used to be. Like, I used to be down in water bottles, and I do not currently. So my skin is a little off, so you know, don't be judging, okay? Now I'm going to take this what is this? Oh, brow pencil. I'm gonna take this brow pencil, and I'm going to fill in my brows. Now, typically I like to use powder, okay? It's very natural, it's very clean, but lately I have been using this brow pencil, and I like these brow pencils, which is, it is by, the thing came off. Yeah, so this brow pencil a little dusty right now, but but we gonna make it work, y'all. We just gonna make it work. Don't even worry about it. I'm trying to look for a mirror because I don't have a mirror in here. So, oh wow, I had lotion all on my nose this whole time. Okay, it's all right, it's okay. Paper towel. Once again, if you hear my daughters in the background, do not mind them. They don't mean any harm. They're just very active. Okay, so I like to brush my brow hairs up, like up and out, if that makes sense, like up and then out into the direction that they go. Next, I like to, oh, come on, what? Okay, this is, I did sharpen this. I was trying to see if it was sharpened. And y'all, I don't have my contacts in, so like if y'all see me squinting, I'm trying to make sure that this is in focus and it's in the frame because I cannot see. So yeah, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just, I like to start from like any place that is kind of empty. Now today I'm not doing like a dramatic look or anything. To be quite honest, I'm trying to keep it really simple. I don't feel like all of that today. I'm not even going anywhere, so. But anyway, guys, how have you guys been? How has life been? For me, life has been very, very adventurous. Like, my life has really took such a huge turn. Not a huge, like, I don't mean turn like in a bad way, but turn in a great way. I actually just recently released my lip gloss line. In my lip gloss line, I am basically selling lip glosses, lip balms, lip whips, and body whips. So, like lip butters, body butters, you know. And yeah, that's what I'm pretty much doing currently. Like, everything is handmade by me, and it's going great. So yeah, I will put the link to my website in the description below, so you guys can check out everything. Sell me out, sell me out. But yeah, y'all, when I tell you, like, God has truly been showing out in my life. I have had a lot of different things happening in my life. Just with, like, once I gave birth to the twins, first of all, my pregnancy was very, very hard. It was so many complications. First of all, number one, a lot of complications with my son. And then there was no guarantee that they were even going to make it, but they made it anyway. Like, the doctors didn't think that I was going to be able to go full term, which I didn't go full term. I ended up having a placenta abruption, so I didn't go full term. I was in the hospital. No, I went to my doctor's appointment, and that's when they saw, as I was laying on the table to have the ultrasound done, they saw that I was having a placenta abruption. So they literally rushed me to have a C-section. I had the C-section done, and then that's when, like, our whole journey of just complication began. My twins were in the NICU. Zoe was in the NICU for 8 months total, and Zion, he didn't make it past 2 months. So he ended up passing away after 2 months. He wasn't even supposed to make it, period. So I just thank God for allowing me to just witness a miracle happen. And yeah, it was very tough, very tough, but God got me through it. After I lost Zion, I literally felt like, I don't know, like, I felt like an outer body experience. Like, I felt as if, like, my whole entire body just left this earth, if that makes sense. But then God literally pulled me together, because the thing is that, like, I don't know, it's just something different when you lose a child. Is different. Like, I have had losses, many of them, but when you lose your child, it's just something different. Like, even when I lost my dad, that really broke me. But like losing my son, I don't know, I just cannot explain that feeling. So after I lost Zion, I actually began to drink heavily, and I was basically walking into an addiction with alcohol. I was drinking every single day. I was drinking to cope. I was drinking to, be able to work. I was drinking just to be able to get up every day and be able to face the world. And I remember I was in my kitchen, and I was in my kitchen one day. This had to be probably like maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks into this addiction that I was basically having. I was literally, I'm not just talking about like, oh, I'm taking one glass of wine. Like, no, I was literally drinking like back to back to back. And it wasn't just wine. It was like, I was drinking a lot of Crown Royal, Henny, tequila, like whatever it is that I could have got my hands on, I was drinking it. And I remember me just crying every day. Like every day, every night, I was crying. It got to the point where my son, Cameron, asked me, he was like, Mommy, why do you keep crying? Like, why are you always so sad? And that broke my heart, because I didn't want him to think that I was crying because I was unhappy. Like, like something about him was making me unhappy. So I started to cry in my bathroom, and I would go into the bathroom and I would shut the door and I would just cry. And I would be in there for like however long, however long that I needed for that day was how long I was in there crying for. And back to the addiction. So I remember I was in my kitchen, and the Holy Spirit led me to open my fridge, and sorry guys, and God spoke to me and told me, take these bottles, because I had 3 bottles of wine in my refrigerator because I always kept them chilled, and so God said to me, take these bottles and throw them in the drain, because if you do not, you're going to spiral out of control, and you're going to go in a path that you do not want to walk into, and that path is addiction. So I didn't hesitate. Like I did not hesitate at all. If you guys know me and you know like my background, I've always had a relationship with Christ. Once I got saved, my relationship has always been, but I just was walking kind of backwards. Like, I wasn't really feeding my relationship with God. I wasn't spending time with him as much as I should. I wasn't, I wasn't really dedicating, devoting myself to him. So once he spoke that to me, I didn't hesitate. I literally took the bottles, I poured them in the drain, in the sink, and I had video. I might put a clip, but I have a video of it. And once I did that, God told me to surrender your life back to me, and that's what I did that night. That night, I got on my knees, and I literally had a cry out to God. Like, I literally said to God, I said, like, Lord, I cannot do this on my own. I need you. Without you, I am nothing. Because that's real. We are nothing without him. And that night, I received the gift of tongues. I was literally, like, when I tell y'all the way, like, God, the way that he was doing so many miraculous things in my life at this time, it was like, whoa, like, wow. It was just, God, okay. Like, I hear you, I see what you're doing, and I'm going to literally allow you to lead me, because you clearly have something way greater for my life than what I can see, right? And I didn't know that I was going to be in ministry now, you know, today, as of today. I didn't know that that's where he was bringing me into. So for me to just immediately surrender back, and then also to receive the gift of tongues, then to be able to feel like he lifted this weight that I had on me and remove the addiction. Because literally after I poured the liquor down the drain, I didn't drink anymore from that day. Like, till this day, I haven't had a drink at all. It's been over a year and I have not had a drink. So let me clap for myself about that, because I'm proud. I'm so proud. Okay, but but yeah, I have not had a drink. So, and the fact that I could talk about this right now, you guys, and not cry about it, because I cry about everything, and I am very, I don't know, I just cry about things that I still have emotions about, or, you know, I've been through, whatever. But I just feel thankful and I feel grateful that I am where I am today, you know. And I just thank God that I'm not where I used to be. So and honestly, what I went through, it could have ruined me, you know. Like, sometimes we go through things that are just so tough that it pulls us back, you know, and sometimes we lose ourselves. So I'm just thankful that God didn't allow me to really lose myself. Yeah. But so anyway, I didn't know this is what the plans that he had for me, but these are the plans that he had for me. And so now it makes so much sense of why things just was like, oh, okay, back to back to back. Like, I get it. Yeah, so I started to go on this journey with God, and I was literally just like, you know what, I am going to submit. I am going to be obedient to what God is trying to do in me. Like, I'm not going to fight against it. I'm not going to you know, try and make sense of things, because sometimes, let's be real, when we try to make sense of things, we start to we will talk ourselves out of it, pretty much. Like, when we try to make sense of stuff, you know, and we'll try and say, okay, well, maybe I should do it this way, or maybe, you know, and it's like, it's not your way, it's God's way. So why are you trying to, like, take control? Sorry guys, I can't, sometimes, like, y'all know I can't talk and like move at the same time, if that makes sense. But I don't know, I was just like, you know what, God, I'm not about to sit here and be like fighting against what you're trying to do, because at the end of the day, my life is not my own. And I personally suffer with that, like, with trying to take control of everything. I literally try to control everything. Like, to this day, God is delivering me from that, of like not trying to be in control of everything. Because it's just like, this, sit down somewhere. Like, why are you trying to control everything? Like, you are not the illustrator and author of your life, so why are you thinking that you could control what's going on in your life? Like, come on now. Like, God has the final say. God has full control. So it's just like, yes, you can control your actions. Yes, you can control things of that nature. But when it comes to the plans and the things that are happening, like, God is going to have his way regardless. Like, it's, Lord, allow your will to be done, not mine. That's just the way that I always view things. Like, I personally do not want what I want. I want what he wants for me. Because what I want may lead me somewhere that I don't want to be. Like, we got to be careful of our desires. Like, as long as we delight ourselves in him, Okay, that's one thing. But when your desires are coming from the world, that's a whole different story. Like, I'm telling you, we got to be careful what we want and what we ask for. So yeah, I was just at that point, like, I gave my life. I said, Lord, take me now. Take me, I'm yours. That's exactly how I was. Okay. I just want you. But so speed up. Once Zoe was in the hospital, let me tell you something. I'm telling y'all, like, trial and tribulation. Okay? When I tell you trial and tribulation, I am actually writing about this journey, because in the process of all this stuff, God made me an author. I wrote 3 books altogether, but my first book, I actually released it while I was going through all this stuff. So it's just like, I don't know, he was just doing some God, you are amazing. But yeah, so I am writing a book because God literally led me to write about this, because there are women out here who are going through this exact situation with, like, the NICU, or with losing a child, or having a hard pregnancy with twins, or whatever it is. Like, people need encouragement. People need to know that I am not alone. So I will be releasing that book once I get everything squared away. I'm trying not to rush it. I don't want to rush it, because I want it to be exactly how God has for it to be, because that's the way that it is going to be effective for those who touch it, who read it. My NICU journey was very long. Like, I feel like it was just so drawn out. Until recently, I met this lady, and we were exchanging stories when I took my daughter to, because Zoe ended up recently, another trial. She recently had a seizure due to low blood sugar, and I didn't know anything about her. Like, I didn't know that she had any issues when it came to her blood sugar. So anyway, she ended up having a seizure, and her seizure lasted about 6 minutes. I had to call the ambulance because I called my mom first, because I always call my mom first, because my mother is a nurse, and so I always call her, because, like, she typically tells me, like, she knows what to do. So when I called her, literally because my brother, growing up, he had seizures, so it didn't, like, frighten me, but when it's your child, of course, you get like, oh my goodness. So I knew what to do, put her on her side, and as we were waiting for the seizure for her to come out of the seizure, all her vitals started dropping. Like, everything, when I tell y'all, like, everything started to drop. So her heart rate was dropping, her oxygen was dropping, because she's on we keep track of everything because she's on her pulse ox. So everything was dropping, and when I tell y'all, like, literally, I thought I was gonna lose my baby girl, and I started praying to God, and I'm just like, Lord, please do not let me have to witness losing another child, because Zion ended up dying in my arms. And I just couldn't bear to witness that. So as I was praying, the Lord instructed me to go get my anointing oil, and I ran to my room, got the anointing oil, and anointed her. And I anointed her and began to pray over her. And he said, pray with full faith. And so I began to pray. And then next he said, take her oxygen tube, because she had like her oxygen tank next, it was next to her bed. He said, take the tank, turn the tank on, and place it in her nose. And I did. Nothing still was working, right? So I'm listening to what he's telling me to do, but I'm not watching anything go up. So I'm like, okay, God, you're telling me to do this, but it's still not working. Help me. So he says to me, keep praying. Don't stop praying. Keep praying. So I keep praying. And literally, when I tell y'all, everything started to rise up.